Hi guys, welcome to the channel, Steve the Transit Camper. I thought I'd bring the van up to the Wrekin today and give you a bit of a van tour. We haven't had an update for ages. This year's parked in the background, could have washed it, never bothered. Let's have a van tour. So it is a 2015 Transit Custom and I bought it for 16,000 about 6 years ago. Spent a bit of money on a set of Wolf race wheels, alloys, and I think they were £1,000 for the four. The inside is basic, but very comfortable, heated seats, built-in radio, which isn't the best to be honest. But we didn't buy it for the sound system. It is like driving a car, it's lovely and quiet when you drive. Extra storage underneath the seats, both the passenger seats. And you've got the pull down for your drinks and a bit of paperwork. So when I bought the van, it was just a basic van in the back. It had been used for building work. It smelt of oil for some reason, but it had a plastic tray covering the whole of the floor, so there's no damage to the floor. So all we did was give it a really good clean and put a carpet down, and then we built up from there. So as you open the door, you've got two solar panel modules that are attached there, and they're running currently at 13.3 volts because it's a beautiful sunny day, and they are charging the two leisure batteries which are inside this box, which also doubles up as a bench. There's a bit of a view of the solar panels. So when I first started with this van, the two leisure batteries used to overheat for some reason. I think that was a problem with my alternator overcharging them. So I put some temperature measurers on the outside so I can see they're not overheating at a glance. That's how much battery power I've got. A couple of vents. This tells me exactly what power I'm using at any given time. We've got an isolator switch which isolates the two leisure batteries completely, and when we plug in on the mains, that charger comes on and charges the two batteries. And again, two more vents. So looking underneath the bench into the battery box, as I call it, you've got one leisure battery, which is a small one, 90 amp hour, and then you've got the big one there, which is 120 amp hour. I am looking at getting two new leisure batteries which are 130 amp hour each, and I will get them fitted probably before we go to France in this year. Keep all my other stuff in here, my electrical hookup stuff, a few cable ties, a few tools at the bottom there, tow rope, jump leads, an air pump. And then this is all the fuses for everything that's inside, all labelled up. And this circuit is completely separate to the van circuit. When I initially built the van, I was running all sorts of things from the van battery and some things from this and some things not fused. Do it right from the start, you won't have to do what I did and start all over again. I also installed a walkie-talkie just for fun. There's a speaker underneath the van and that switches on from there. So a huge coach is pulled alongside while I'm doing my tour, of course. Oh, he's left his engine running, great. Probably for the aircon. Anyway, got a couple of USB ports, power supply, cigarette lighter type power supply, and that switches it all on. Oh no, that switches the main lights on when you get in, because we had light switches at the other end of the van over there and we were scrambling around in the dark. So now I've put a light there, bosh, as soon as you get in the van, lights on. Then you've got the kitchen area, you've got the sink there. Underneath the kitchen sink we have our wastewater, which just unscrews there and you pull that out and empty it. Don't empty it very often. Got a few saucepans on a shelf all sorted there, and right underneath there is the diesel heater, which is a 5 kilowatt, and the control for that is on the other side of this cupboard. Kitchen sink, I think this was about 240 quid. They are a lot cheaper now. Probably had that installed about 4 years, and it runs off an electric pump. Micro switch in the tap turns the water on, and that is supplied from a canister which is underneath there, which I fill up very rarely really. We just use that water for a bit of washing up, nothing else. We've got a single gas hob, and the gas is kept underneath there. So we have had that gas bottle since we built the van, and every time we switch it on to cook something, we think, is this the day it's going to run out? It just seems never ending. It's cost very little. I think it was £30 including a bottle, and when you exchange it, it's even cheaper. So really good. Not much good in the winter though. You don't get much flow if it gets too cold. Above the sink, just a few utensils. I made these little pods, nice fork spoons, 3 plates, because there's only ever 3 of us in the van, and the kettle hanging on its hook. So that's the kitchen area. Get one of them for free. And then this is the wardrobe area. Very small wardrobe. There's a little bit of space that I could use, so we keep our fresh water in there, just for a cup of coffee, and our bits and bobs at the bottom. Over here, we've got a table which comes out. We grab the leg from there, we push it into there, and that becomes a nice level table. So when you're sat here, you can do all of your cooking, and you've got somewhere to put your food when it's done. This, of course, also doubles up into a bedside table. So moving along, this was built as one unit. It's a straight upright wardrobe. And in here, top half, you have the fridge, which switches on from that button there. We don't use it very often, but it's perfect for taking English food when you're going abroad, just those bits and pieces you can't live without. Once again, storage on the outside, just for a few cups. Got a powder fire extinguisher, dustpan and brush, and a few bits for washing up. Inside here, little bit of storage space. Got the basin, couple of cups, bits and bobs. We fill that up if we're going abroad. And of course the legendary Portaloo, which just slides out nice and easy. Moving along into the back of the van, we've got an iPad set up. We've got 240 mains for when we're hooked up. And we've got the CCTV cameras, which I'll talk about in a minute. Inside there, another bit of space for bits and bobs. Again, mostly full of junk at the moment. And we've got a little tray there which runs all the way down for putting those bits in that you can't quite find a space for. So there's the CCTV cameras all set up and working. Got 4 vans pointing north, south, east and west on the roof. Little place to store a couple of glasses. We've only got 1 window in the back. That's what makes it a stealth van. Coming along, we've got a shelf at the top, again where we keep bits and bobs on. The van cave sign with our only van sticker, supplied by Raoul, Camp Like a Boon. And then we've got power supplies. It's just underneath that seat there. There's 2 USBs which are switched on with those switches, and the other switch turns that one on. Little side pocket for bits and bobs like a vape and your phone at night. And then this backrest becomes the center of the bed when you take this table down. Looking underneath, a little bit of storage space from inside the van, where we keep some spare blankets and things. And we've also got this which slides out, which we usually put our food in ready to cook when we go on a stealth camp, so it's nicely out of the way. Table, easy to collapse, just pull that leg out, pull the tabletop off, and that stores it down there along the side. Then underneath here, which is the main body of the beds, we've got 2 places that are accessible when the back doors are open. Let me show you what the switches do. That's the rear light, center light and front light. This one powers the USB socket, and this big red one is the fan, the extractor fan, and you can also adjust that for when you're abroad really. You do need it going pretty quick to get rid of the moisture. But that's it. Now, I'm not a big fan of lining vans. I like my Stealth vans, and I've had 4 of them now. I like them to look like a van from the inside as well. So we have got a hole through for our extractor fan, which we can keep running all the time. And we have got holes in the floor, which go straight through. And when you've got the fan on, you can really feel the air pulling through. They're excellent. If you're already a fan of Steve the Transit Camper, you will know that when I'm driving, my pet dog called Cat keeps popping her head through over my shoulder when I'm driving. And when we park up to go to the pub, we come back to the van, she's jumped in the front and all the alarms are going. So we've had to do a new installation. Let me show you. So this is that new installment. It's called an anti-cat device. So she normally jumps up here, skids around on this surface like an ice rink, and then sticks her head through. I've left a bit of a gap so she can stick her head through, but she certainly cannot climb through anymore. So that's worked out well. And I think that pretty much brings you guys up to date really with what I've done with the van. Every Stealth van is an ongoing project, so you do change your mind and you do different things all the time. We're currently happy with ours. The last modification though, I'm saying that, was only last week. So yeah, always making improvements, always making modifications, and until you actually go on a Stealth camp and live in it for a couple of nights, that's when you realise that you've got other things that you need to add or whatever. Or let me show you the door when it's closed as well. So we're in the dark here at the minute, and I've made these door pockets, which are just wide enough to take a few little items in there, because obviously when that door opens it slides, and that's the only gap that I had left. So there we are. And there's baby. And this is our Stealth Van Camper. I actually love watching other people's van tours because it gives you a few ideas of what they're doing differently. And this is what we're doing at the moment. But we're actually here because we want to test the new microphone, which I've just added for the CCTV cameras and people walking past. So it's the microphone that came with the unit. It's not brilliant and I might change it, but let me show you. So this is it, just plonked on the back, and hopefully it will just pick up a few sounds, because I've always had the CCTV on without any sound. So we might just be able to hear a bit more about what's going on. So guys and girls, that concludes the van tour and what we've done so far. And now we're just going to chill for an hour and cook a burger. Stick with us if you want to see that. Otherwise, thanks very much for watching. Steve the Transit Camper's Stealth Van Tour. So unfortunately, I'm not able to test the microphone because I can't get a good enough signal, because there is no signal here for our telephones, which is really annoying. I did try it at home though, and it did work. The volume was all good, so I might just pull up on the way home somewhere and just run that little test off camera. But in the meantime, let's cook. Gas is on. Burgers are on. We have got some cheese and some chopped onion. And of course, anybody who watches my channel, ta-da! The favourite ingredient, Encona hot pepper sauce. I have tried to do a little time lapse for the time we're here, just a couple of hours. I'll just show you that now. Bit of cheese on top. And we like raw onions on ours. Bit of hot pepper sauce, just give it some bite. And I reckon they're done. And there we have it. 2 extremely unhealthy burgers. And there we have it. That is delicious. Thanks for coming along to this van tour.
check out all my other videos. I do a lot of stealth camping with various special guests on the show. So go and have a look at them. And I also do a lot of stealth camping with baby. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Steve the Transit Camper and Mrs. Baby giving you a van tour. Take her easy.